No.
Kako so lepe. Joj, kako so lepe. A je bo?
Jaz sem tle samo malo v sen zdaj.
Ja, pa res. Tako na sonce bodijo in pa mene na sliki dela.
Pa lumpita.
Lumpita, ja.
Pa lumpika.
Lumpita, da je.
Lumpi.
Šelka ta stavlječe.
Ja, pa res je sen. Ja, pa res.
Rdeče so pa črne.
Kaj kaš?
Tistele. A, kaj približa?
Ja, bliža sam se navidi. Tole je vrt, kako izgleda, je pokošen. No, vidiš. Ja. Herbst. Herbst. Dost. Gledaj. Ja, čudovito. Lejih, revce. Lejih. Lejih. Niso pršešni, lejih. Lej ga mladička. Ja, res. Lej ga. Zdaj se še fajn vid. Dva sta.
Kaj?
Dva sta.
Trije so?
Ja.
Kako da je?
Dva mladiča.
Trije so, no?
Lej ga. Junge.
Kaj?
To so naše. To se nič ne boji. Ne. Naše srnce. Zelo strašno malo. Ja, revce boge. Lumpi. Lumpek. Lumpi. There you go. Lumpi. Lumpi. Kom back. Lumpy. Lumpy. Lumpy.
Polno, verso policaji.
Tukaj to je, ne, tukaj na primer, tukaj vodo vse tri. Tukaj. Tivoli. Tivoli.
Naša generacija in še posebno naslednja, če se bo škoda, ki prizadeva okolju še tako nadaljevala, bo imela veliko več težav.
Then, I think another thing, the concept we and they. I think reality, as I mentioned earlier, world today's situation is heavily interdependent. So that's the reality. So according to that reality, now the concept of we and they is no longer relevant. But in our mind, still, the importance of demarcation we and they.
Zdaj v konceptih mi in oni. Kot sem prej povedal, resničnost je svet, da je zelo medsebojno povezan. To je današnja resničnost in v tej resničnosti koncepta mi in oni nista več pomembna. A v našem umu še vedno radi razlikujemo med nami in njimi.
No matter how powerful one's individual person, his or her very much taking care about environment and about others' interest is actually interest of oneself. Then I think another way, our sensory very powerful. Then another level, mainly the mental sensation of pleasure or pain, mainly mental level, and another mainly self. But in our usual experience, sensory level is something good, we can. So therefore, obviously, we up to now, we pay all our attention for material development. Because, you see, we get the impression the sensorial experience is the most important. So the fulfillment of that level, as material things are supposed to happen. So good food, good shelter, is a good clothing, good companionship, all these, and music. So something which I think the colorful of the dress and flowers, very good for sensation or eye contact. Then music for ear. Then perfumes with these things. You see? Nose. Then drink. I don't know, smoke for, I don't know, water, or for nose, I don't know. That is obviously so. Drink is good for tongue. And clothes, I think both, the physical feeling as well as the eye. So like that. So all these can sort of manage if you have money. So money becomes very important. So the national level, we always sort of consider importance of national growth, right? National growth, should be year by year must increase. If not increase, then people say not disaster. So we almost take for granted the limitless sort of progress. And in the meantime, consumption, fuels or many things, we consider limitless resources. But reality not that way.
Na nekem drugem nivoju so naše čutilne izkušnje izredno močne in potem na drugem nivoju, predvsem nivoju uma ali mentalnem nivoju, zelo pomembno zadovoljstvo. Na tem nivoju se pojavlja zadovoljstvo, užitek, bolečina, tako da imamo tukaj pravzaprav dva nivoja, mentalni in čutilni nivo. Običajno menimo, da so izkušnje čutilnega nivoja tiste, ki prevladajo in zato tudi smo se vedno posvečali predvsem materialnemu razvoju. Kajti zdi se nam, da so naše čutilne izkušnje najpomembnejše in te čutilne izkušnje zadovoljujemo predvsem z materialnimi dobrinami, s hrano, domom, oblekami, dobrimi prijatelji, glasbo, prvitimi oblačili, rožami. To vse je zelo dobro, da zadovoljimo svoj vid. Glasba je dobra za naše uho, parfum za nos, kajenje mogoče za jezik, mogoče za nos, ne vem. Pijača je dobra za naš jezik, obleke za fizični občutek in uho. Tako je to. Vse te stvari lahko dobimo seveda, če imamo denar, zato denar postane zelo pomemben. Tudi na narodnem, na državnem nivoju je za nas zelo pomembna rast družbenega prihodka. Če se ta iz leta v leto ne povečuje, potem že mislimo, da je to katastrofa. Za nas je neomejen razvoj nekaj povsem samoumevnega. Mislimo, da je naša potrošnja lahko neomejena, a temu v resničnosti ni tako.
Then now, we have intention, the sensorial experience is so more important. But I think the experience on mental level is superior. The reason If someone mental level or worry or fear because of anxiety, then that cannot subdue or cannot overwhelm, cannot subdue by the good food or the satisfaction or the follow the sensory direct any sin you donate significant. I think if there are some people who knows only English, then I think
the sensorial experiences, however good it may be, it is not possible to subdue the mental sufferings through the sensorial experiences.
A v resnici menim, da so izkušnje našega mentalnega uma veliko pomembnejše. In razlog je naslednji. Če je v našem umu, če na našem mentalnem nivoju, če obstajajo skrbi, strah, napetost, potem teh negativnih čustev ne moremo pomiriti z dobro hrano ali z lepimi čutilnimi izkušnjami. Te izkušnje, ne glede na to, kako dobre so, ne morejo pomiriti umskega trpljenja.
On the other hand, if mentally happy, satisfied, calm, then physical difficulties, you see, can be overcome. So this sensorial experience can subdue by mental experience. So therefore, the mental level of satisfaction is more important. Then furthermore, now something is hard work. Even if it was a support, sports, in order to gain goal, but physically, some injuries, some pain there. But because they have certain sort of goal, mentally, clearly have sort of vision and goal. Therefore, in order to achieve that, they can sort of bear. They can bear the physical hardships, physical difficulties. So therefore, the opposite, I think, almost impossible in order to in order to gain some sensorial levels of happiness and sacrifice mental. I think if someone who really is sensible, then that's impossible. But to foolish people, sometimes I think it happens. I think just thinking about money. Then also you see, day by day, it's a lot of worry, a lot of sort of anxiety, but somehow they accepted that. I think that's foolish, actually foolish. So accepting such people, I think in order to gain some mental level satisfaction, it is easy to sacrifice your sensorial sort of experiences. But the opposite, I think if we think of it properly, then it's foolish, difficult.
Če smo v svojem umu srečni, zadovoljni, mirni, potem lahko premagamo fizične težave. Izkušnje naših čutov lahko pomerimo z izkušnjami uma. Zato je zadovoljen um veliko pomembnejši. To lahko vidimo pri ljudeh, ki trdo delajo, recimo pri športnikih, ki si zelo trdo prizadevajo, da bi dosegli svoj cilj. Pri tem se soočajo s številnimi bolečinami, poškodbami, a ker imajo v svojem umu neko vizijo in cilj, potem lahko s tem premagajo fizične težave. Doseči nasprotno je skoraj da nemogoče. Da bi žrtvovali svojo mentalno srečo, da bi dosegli srečo na nivoju čutilnih izkušenj, je pravzaprav nemogoče. Nekaterim neumnežem mogoče to uspe, včasih je zanje možno, mislijo samo na denar, denar, denar in potem so vsak dan napeti, a to sprejmejo, vendar je to neumno. Da pa bi dosegli zadovoljen da bi dosegli mentalno zadovoljstvo, je veliko lažje žrtvovati izkušnje, naše čutilne izkušnje, obratno pa je neumno in nemogoče.
So, I think then, now one point there, but now I forget.
Nekaj sem mislil, pa sem zdaj pozabil.
Let me think. Not come. But that doesn't matter. Today is the material development. Yes, I think, generally speaking, not whole world, but it's a certain area now material development now really reach high standard. But that not necessarily the people who have all the material facility are definitely very happy. That's not the case. I personally witnessed, some very rich family. As far as material is concerned, they're plenty. There's no reason, any sort of anxiety. But personally, as a person, not happy. One time in, I think, one time in America, I spent on the road, on journey. I stopped a short moment of lunch break at one house. That owner seems very rich. But then in the bathroom, I noticed the box little half open. So then, due to my curiosity, I think illegally, I opened it and then the exam look. So there's some boxes of tranquilizer. He mentioned tranquilizer. So then I thought, the person who lived in that big house looks very rich, but even that person needs tranquilizer. So there's one sort of example. Then another, the real one professor. Very great name. And all the person who told me his income is $1 million each year. Seems to say everything satisfied, everything's enough. But then he told me, don't worry, I'm happy. So when I met him, at least last several months, he can't see other people. Very uncomfortable. Then he asked me what to do. And just of course, I'm not specialist, but according to my own sort of the Buddhist training, and tried to share sort of his worry and explain some of the basic, the nature of our life, these things. Then afterwards, I heard his sort of mental worry, mental situation is much improved. So this clearly shows the material facility there, but the person is not necessarily. So the sensorial level perspective cannot bring deep inside happiness or happiness and then, yes, now I remember the point. Now, then the demarcation between human being and other animal is human intelligence. Therefore, although the animals also have their mental level sort of experiences, however, the human being's mental level experience is much complicated because of the human intelligence. So, the unhappy thing, mainly because of human intelligence. Then such case, the sensorial, in such case, it is impossible to find a remedy or counter measure for the unhappiness or unhappiness or the worry due to intelligence. You see, that simply, cannot eliminate. So the countermeasure for that kind of mental sort of worry must seek from intelligence itself, human intelligence itself. So that's the reality. So that's about the explanation of the background.
Danes mislim, da je materialni razvoj, na splošno govorjeno, ne po celem svetu, ampak vsaj v določenih predeljih, dosegel že zelo visok standard, vendar ni nujno, da so ljudje, ki imajo vse materialne dobrine, tudi srečni. Temu ni tako. Sam sem srečal zelo bogate družine, ki imajo vse materialne dobrine in ni nobene potrebe, da bi čutili kakršnokoli napetost, a kot ljudje niso srečni. Nekoč sem potoval po Ameriki in se ustavil na kosilu v neki hiši, kjer je bil lastnik videti zelo bogat, a v kopalnici sem na to opazil na pol odprto škatlo in iz radovednosti, mislim, da popolnoma nezakonito, sem to škatlo odprl in pogledal vanjo in videl v njej veliko škatl pomirjevalnih sredstev. In sem si mislil, tukaj je velika hiša, človek je zelo bogat, vseeno potrebuje pomirjevala. Še en primer je primer profesorja, zelo znanega profesorja, ki mi je povedal, da zasluži $1 milijon na leto in vsega je imel dovolj, a mi je dejal, da ga zelo skrbi, da je zelo nesrečen in ko sem ga spoznal, že nekaj mesecev ni mogel govoriti z drugimi ljudmi in vprašal me za nasvet. Ker nisem strokovnjak, sem z budističnega vidika skušal deliti njegovo skrb in mu razložiti nekaj osnovnih pojmov o naravi življenja. In kasneje sem slišal, da se je potem njegovo umsko stanje zelo izboljšalo. Tako vidimo, da tudi če imajo ljudje vse materialne dobrine, ni nujno, da so zato tudi srečni. Zadovoljitev naših čutilnih organov ne prinaša globoke sreče in zadovoljstva. In zdaj se spomnim, kaj sem hotel še prej povedati. Razlika med ljudmi in drugimi živalmi je človeška inteligenca. Tudi živali izkušajo na umskem nivoju, vendar je človeški umski nivo veliko bolj zapleten ravno zaradi človeške inteligence. In zato je prav zaradi te inteligence včasih tudi veliko težje najti zdravilo, protiukrepe za nesrečo, za skrbi in teh ne moramo odpraviti. Zato mislim, da je potrebno protiukrepe in zdravilo za skrbi, ki so v našem umu, iskati v sami človeški inteligenci. To je resničnost.
Now, the human intelligence. Now. Human intelligence itself, of course, marvelous, but it can be either source of worry, or source of uncomfortable, or source of happiness. It can be so. And also human intelligence can be very destructive and very destructive.
Človeška inteligenca sama po sebi je čudovita, lahko je vir skrbi, lahko je vir nelagodja, lahko pa tudi vir sreče, lahko je oboje. Človeška inteligenca je lahko načevalna ali pa konstruktivna.
So, anyway, I think among the different sort of thousands of sort of burden on this planet. In ancient times, even the snow goes to the like the grand body. And also in the sea, the waves, the summer, physically, everything. As elephants. But these, they are sort of consumption, and they are sort of little destruction, environment, limited. It automatically recover. But we human beings, and also these animals, sometimes, and especially in the time of mate, they're fighting. Yeah. But they are sort of destruction is limited. On the other hand, we human beings, I think we are, in a way, most troublemakers. You know, in the thousands of different months. And sometimes I jokingly telling the people, if we really want this planet peace, no sort of serious trouble, then entire humanity should disappear. Then I think the world planet may have more peaceful, more sort of natural way. So we are, in a way, very like most complicated. But on the other hand, because of human intelligence, only human beings can develop infinite altruism because of human intelligence. The other elements, especially the social elements, they have limited altruism, but no capacity to develop infinite altruism because limited intelligence.
Kakorkoli že, menim, da med vsemi tisočimi različnimi sesalci, ki živijo na tem planetu in živalmi v starodavnih časih, so imeli velike živali, dinozavri, pomori, psi, sloni in tudi ti veliko pojejo in uničujejo okolje, a njihova škoda, ki jo pri tem povzročajo, je majhna, okolje se popravi samo po sebi. Te živali, tudi ko se parijo in se bojujejo med seboj, povzročajo določeno škodo, a njihova uničevalnost je omejena. Ljudje smo tisti, ki povzročamo največ težav od vseh tisočev različnih sesalcev na svetu. Včasih rečem, če res želimo mir na tem planetu, če nočemo nobenih večjih težav, potem bi moralo celo človeštvo izginiti in ta planet bi bil veliko mirnejši in bolj naraven. Mi ustvarjamo največ težav. Vendar pa prav zato, ker imamo človeško inteligenco, lahko razvijamo neomejen altruizem. Druge živali lahko altruizem razvijajo samo omejeno, ne morejo pa ga razvijati neomejeno kot ljudje.
So now, the human intelligence balanced by sense of responsibility, then human intelligence becomes more constructive. So I think some kind of assurance that intelligence become, positive and constructive. That's the sense of responsibility. Now, how to develop the sense of responsibility? More sense of caring, which is a sense of affection on others. Think about common interest. That is sense of responsibility.
Če pa človeško inteligenco združimo z občutkom odgovornosti, potem ta postane bolj konstruktivna in bolj pozitivna. Kako razviti ta občutek odgovornosti, občutek skrbi, občutek
zadovoljenost in drugi občutek ljudi za skupen interes.
So now, according to the background of the situation, and now it becomes clear that one of our emotions we call compassion is something very important matter.
Zdaj smo si ogledali ozadje in postalo je jasno, da eno od naših čustev je sočutje je zelo pomembno.
So I wanted to make clear, some people have the impression that such love, compassion, forgiveness, self-discipline, these considered as a religious matter, religious subject. So those people who have no interest about religion, then they also completely forget about these values. I think that's a mistake. Yes, all religions, all major religious traditions emphasize the importance of these things. But basically, these things and religious faith is essentially separate. These things, I believe, the basic human good quality. From the birth, these qualities there. But the religious faith come later. Perhaps I can sound, may not I can look nice, but sometimes I feel when we born, we are free from any religious faith. But we are not free from human affection. Without human affection, we can't survive. Without religious feeling, without religious faith, see, we can survive. We survive. Therefore, the essential, these basic human values are separate from the religious feeling. So, if anyone who has religious faith, it's good because the various religious is, I think, very good to strengthen, to increase these values. But if someone who has no interest in religion, okay, no problem. But so long we are human beings, so long we want happy life. And therefore, there is no point to negative about these human values, because these are the foundation of our good life, meaningful life.
Dalai. Dalai. Jan.
Te osnovne človeške vrednote so zelo pomembne, če želimo živeti srečno. Še posebno, da v modernih časih, ko sem prej omenil, svet, gospodarstvo in stališče vprašanja našega okolja postaja vedno bolj enotno, vedno bolj en stan in je vse medsebojno zelo povezano. V tem okoliščinah so človeške vrednote ključnega pomena. In tudi to zaradi človeštvo, zaradi človeških problem se kaže različne različne mnenje, različne verske. Zato to je tudi skoro, kaj različne mnenje, različne na primer, nekdo na primer, če ni bilo čekati na samega, nekdo na nekaj pobočne krajnosti, nekaj predstavlja, da se nekaj vključevalo, računalo, razlikuje in da formiramo boljše skoči polno drugačne dejavno. In potem moramo ti dve ideji slušati, ker je treba tudi pri omenu bolje, če smo podamo, če ne kako ne predložimo, kaj je prav. Se nam tudi dogaja podobčo, s tem, da se to vodi veliko, da se vodi reprezentativati na samomor. Socijalistični ideji nekaj prinašajo države, da se moramo te razlike združiti. Tudi na ravni družine, tudi se recimo v družini, samo dva, mož in žena, imate različne mnenja, imate različne interese in bi lahko vodi na spor. Ta spor je potrebno razrešiti, a ne na nasilen način. posebnimi političnimi počitvijo, ki bi se menilo za oba. Tudi na ravni skupnosti, pa je različna mnenja, različni interesi, in diskusijo, moramo najti rešitev, ki je zadovoljiva in sprejemljiva za obe strani, tako na nacionalnem kot na mednarodnem nivoju. Poskus reševati spore z nasiljem, uporabo sile, je danes zastarel. Mogoče v starodavnih časih, ko so bile države medsebojno bolj neodvisne, ko so bile države samozadostne, je bila tudi popolnočina uporaba sile opravičljiva, kajti poraziti sovražnika je pomenilo zmagati. A v današnjih časih, ko smo vedno bolj povezani s stališča okolja, potem je uničenje našega sovražnika uničenje nas samih. Naš sovražnik je naš sosed. Tukaj ne govorimo o nekem sovražniku, ko bi prišel iz vesolja. Če bi se to zgodilo, bi se potem moralo verjetno človeštvo združiti proti temu izzivu, ampak govorimo o sovražniku, ki je sosed. Tudi vaše gospodarstvo tukaj v Sloveniji je odvisno od vaših sosedov. Bolj ko uspevajo vaši sosedje, boljše je za vas. Če uničite svojega soseda, potem boste trpeli sami. Tako je uporaba sile danes zastarela. Konflikti, različna mnenja so vedno tam in prava opcija je, da uporabimo dialog, da uporabimo pogovor. Ko širimo, promoviramo mir in nenasilje, s tem promoviramo tudi miroljuben način reševanja sporov.
So now, in order to develop, I think, the spirit of reconciliation and dialogue, I think the compassion have a very important role. Firstly, compassion develop respect of others. So, to compassionate person, the other's interest certainly will not negate. Although say your own interest and others' interest at a certain level, some conflict. But still, you keep in your mind respect of others' right, others' interest. So that's one important factor for then another more compassionate mind brings inner strength, self-confidence, less fear. So that's one very important element to face the challenge, to talk. So, in order to, I think, solve the problem, the only alternative is compromise, dialogue. For that need compassion and important. Then compassion for one individual's mental needs. Very important. The more compassionate person, actually, I think they can interact with another fellow human being, even other animals, much more easily, peacefully. The so long compassionate mind there, that it automatically opens some kind of inner door. Through that way, through that way, you see, we can communicate with others very easily, peacefully. If hatred, the opposite of compassion, hatred or ill feeling, remain there, automatically close our inner door. Through that way, towards fellow human being, you always have the suspicion or distrust, and eventually you find it very difficult to communicate with others. Eventually, land feeling of loneliness.
Da bi razvili duh sprave in dialoga, pri tem igra sočutje izredno pomembno vlogo. Sočutjem razvijamo spoštovanje do druge strani, pomeni, da ne zanemarjamo interesov drugih. Tudi če so na neki ravni naši interesi in interesi drugih med seboj v nasprotju, še vedno spoštujemo interese drugih. To je zelo pomembno. Poleg tega sočuten um prinaša notranjo moč, samozavest, izničuje strah. Sprejeti moramo izziv se pogovoriti in sprejemati kompromise, da razrešujemo težave. Sočutje je pomembno tudi, zelo pomembno tudi za notranji mir vsakega posameznika. Bolj sočutna oseba se veliko lažje srečuje z drugimi bitji, ljudmi in živalmi. Sočutni nekako odpira notranja vrata in tako veliko lažje in mirneje komuniciramo z drugimi. A če nasprotno čutimo sovraštvo, potem se notranja vrata zaprejo, vedno smo sumničavi, ne zaupamo drugim in zato z njimi zelo težko komuniciramo in na koncu čutimo osamljenost.
So, now these things I feel something important in our life. So, according to my own experience, I am now 67-year-old, and in my life, many difficulties and sort of, very sad experiences. Many sad experiences, you see, happened in my lifetime. In fact, now more than 43 years, I remain exiled as a refugee. And meantime, news from my home, almost I think every occasion, the news from home is sort of a saddening sort of experience, sort of news. So very sad, very sad. But during those sort of difficult periods, I found the most useful, most reliable friend is my own positive emotion. That really helps me to keep my mind clear and fresh and keep enthusiasm and hope or determination. So therefore, according to my own experience, these mental qualities are very, very useful in our life, particularly when we pass through difficult periods. So that's why I share some of my own experience to you, and if you feel that some of these points are, according to your own experience, seems some relevant and seems some interest, then think furthermore, investigate more, and eventually, if your mind is becoming more compassionate, your health also will improve. I think your
medical expenses will also reduce.
So the whole, and through that way, yours lifespan also increase, I think. Not necessarily through meditation or recite some mantra or making some statues or initiation, but I think real peaceful mind is real factor for longer life. So it's a further sort of investigate, it's a further experiment, and if you feel this is my talk and a beautiful day is not much meaningful, then just forget it. It's no problem. And nothing price there. No price.
Then you can just forget it and you do not have to incur any extra expenditure.
Menim, da so te stvari zelo pomembne v našem življenju. Ko govorim iz lastnih izkušenj, zdaj sem star 67 let in v svojem življenju sem doživel veliko težav. Zgodilo se je veliko žalostnih izkušenj. Več kot 43 let sem zdaj v izgnanstvu kot begunec in novice iz moje domovine so skoraj da vedno žalostne. To je zelo žalostno, a v tem težkem obdobju sem ugotovil, da je najbolj koristen, najbolj zanesljiv prijatelj so prav moje pozitivne čustva, ker ta ohranjajo moj jasen in svež, ohranjajo moje navdušenje, moje upanje in odločnost. Kvalitete uma so zelo koristične, posebno, kada se soočamo s težavami. Zato delim z vami svoje izkušnje. In če mislite, da so moje izkušnje, da imajo moje izkušnje nek pomen za vaše lastne izkušnje, potem o njih še naprej razmišljate, preizkujte Naprej raziskujte in če vaš postane bolj sočuten, se s tem bo izboljšalo tudi vaše zdravje in zmanjšali boste stroške, ki jih imate za zdravljenje. Povečala se bo tudi dolžina vašega življenja, zato ni potrebno meditirati ali recitirati mantre ali prejemati iniciacije. Miren je tisti, ki prinaša dolgo življenje. Še naprej raziskujte, še naprej preizkušajte. In če se vam moj govor in ta lep dan tukaj ne zdi tako koristna, potem kar pozabite, ne boste imeli nobenih dodatnih stroškov ni nobenega problema.
Thank you very much. Already have some questions.
Hvala lepa in zdaj imamo tukaj pripravljenih že nekaj vprašanj. Prvo vprašanje je, kako lahko učitelji v šolah poučujejo o sočutju in drugih vrednotah?
I think this is a very good question. I always sort of emphasize the promotion of human value, not through prayer, not necessarily through religious sort of force, but through training of mind, and that mainly through education, through awareness. So and the other hand, I think, and also I think that in modern society, in modern time, everybody now sort of agree the education is very important. So therefore, the several years is spent in the sort of school or university like that. So therefore, in the education institution, the more emphasis, the importance of these basic human good quality is, I think, very useful. So now, how to teach that? Like the compassion, sense of affection, not sufficient to explain by words, mere words, but through action. So the teacher, your attitude towards your student, firstly, you should develop genuine sense of concern of the student, of whole life, their whole future life. So then, to help shaping their whole future life, to the minds of the student, the affection, sense of concern, sense of caring of the teacher. So the student in the family, parents must provide maximum human affection. In the class, the teacher provides maximum human affection. Through that way, I think almost 24 hours, the student is grown up in the atmosphere of human affection. I think that's the proper way. So therefore, your question is, I very much appreciate it, very important. Sometimes you may lose a little anger if the student is not very well. but basically, if you have genuine sort of concern, genuine compassion towards your student, then even a student then understand your few moments of your scold or few moments of your the bad looks. That's okay.
To je zelo dobro vprašanje. Vedno poudarjam, da je potrebno promovirati človeške vrednote in sicer skozi izobraževanje, skozi zavedanje. Menim tudi, da se v modernih časih vsi strinjamo, da je izobrazba zelo pomembna, kajti toliko let preživimo v šoli in potem na univerzi. Zato je zelo koristno, da bi izobraževalne ustanove dale več poudarka osnovnim človeškim vrednotam in kvalitetam. Ampak moramo razlagati z dejanji. Učitelji, vaš odnos do učencev mora biti tak, da iskreno skrbite zanje, da vas skrbi za njihovo življenje, za njihovo prihodnost. Pomagajte oblikovati njihovo prihodnost z občutkom odgovornosti. Tako to avtomatično preide do učencev, vse naklonjenost skrbi učitelja. Družina in prijatelji vedno izražajo naklonjenost učencem in v šoli izražate naklonjenost učitelji. Tako bodo vseh 24 ur na dan deležni človeške naklonjenosti. To vprašanje je zelo pomembno in ga zelo cenim.
I hate my brother to death. What can I do to overcome this hate? Brata sovražim na smrt, vsak dan ga vidim, kaj ne storim, da mi srce ne bo močno bilo.
That's the good question. Unless I know what's the actual circumstances, what's the reason. So otherwise it's difficult to say. Now I think sometimes with my own brother, sometimes it's a little, what's the day, conflict. Because, you know, my eldest brother, who really determined Tibet must get independence. So he very critical about my approach, middle approach. So, you see, here, conflict. But then, except there's also discussions about these stuff, sometimes we really, I really feel a little irritation. But then, the other hand, we are two brothers. And also, I have sort of deep respect for my elder brother, who are very jovial, and always make fun. So I expect, I was respect his that kind of nature. So looking from the positive side. And then basically we are two brothers. So you see, thinking that line, no problem. We talk, and our relation very, very close as genuine two brothers. So that's one example. So I think you see your case, your brother, one side, certain field or certain sort of factor makes you uncomfortable. But then you see, you analyze what is the matter, and then try to look your brother